elegant, beautiful, classy, purpose, strong, overcomer, free. She rises. Hey there, and welcome to Successful.
Beautiful.
And
I'm Natalie,
I'm Nikki.
I'm Tanika.
and we are excited to have you with us again today.
Yay.
So we're back. We took a break. I needed a break. I want to thank you all for your condolences, for your prayers, for your well wishes in the loss of my mother. I really, 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 really appreciate you for that. You didn't have to leave comments, but you did. I thank you. I thank you so much for that. And I do ask that you continue to pray for us as we journey through this loss. For myself, I have an older brother and an older sister. So if you'll keep them in your prayers as well, we'd really, really appreciate that. And I thank my co-hosts for allowing me that space to try and gather myself some, I haven't. We're still grieving. But thank you. And I thank them because they are amazing women. Those are my girls.
We got you.
I appreciate you so much for that. Okay. So we are back. Our last couple of episodes were fire.
Absolutely.
Yes. And we can tell that y'all really,
Yes.
really liked them.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we thank you guys. Thank you so much for that. Be sure that if you have not subscribed, go and subscribe right now.
Yes.
Right now, press the subscribe button because you don't want to miss these episodes. They're amazing. They are life-changing.
Absolutely.
At least that's what the comments are saying.
Yes. Yes.
We're speaking to things that are relevant to you all and the lived experiences that you all have had. So go subscribe. Tell people about it. Tell people.
Yes.
Okay. So y'all ready? I got anything to say before we jump in?
Oh, I like your shirt.
Yes. Come on.
Cute.
Come on, successful, beautiful, and we're trying to list something new.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all tell us what you think about them.
Yes.
Yes.
Or if you'd like one.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. Shout out to Inspire by Shay.
Yes.
For our t-shirts. Thank
Whoop,
you.
whoop.
Thank you,
Yes.
Thank you, Shay.
We appreciate you.
Yes.
Okay. So let's jump in.
Let's jump in.
Okay. So the again, the last couple of episodes that we had, y'all loved.
Mm-hmm.
It was evident based on the numbers and the comments and things of that nature. There was so much said
Yes.
from Joy and from Aisha, and we wanted to just give them opportunity just to talk
Mm-hmm.
and just to share. And there were so many things that were coming our way, and we're like, yes. Oh yeah, girl, I know that too.
Yes.
So we want to talk a little bit about what we got from those episodes, and then share a little bit deeper about the impact that Maisha in particular mentioned that Tanika and Nikki were able to connect with. And we talked a little bit about this at the end of the last episode, I do believe, with them. So we want to just dive in there and go from there.
Yes,
Right?
Let's
Okay.
dive.
So I want to give us a definition really quickly before we get started. And that definition is of the word rejection. I know I like to make sure that we understand what it is we're talking about, so we have a working definition. So rejection, according to the American Psychological Association, it says rejection is the denial of love, attention, interest, or approval from a person or group, or an antagonistic attitude toward them.
Oh.
Rejection.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to let y'all go, and I'll interject like I do.
Yes.
All right. Tanika, why don't you start today?
So when we talk about rejection, when I really thought about it, it was something that I have dealt with like my whole life. From a little girl, my therapist actually brought this out. My mom and dad were not married. And so they had a child, and then my mom moved on and had a stepfather. And in that union, I always felt like the outsider. Like I wasn't a part of their family. It was them and then me. So that was the first part of rejection that I felt that I started experiencing, like I'm not a part of this family. And growing up, it was rough. And then moving on to my relationships, I always felt like I had to prove myself in order to be accepted. That rejection thing was always there. Like he didn't love me just for me. I had to do something wonderful, and then you're a good girl. So it was really hard. I struggled with that all of my life. So
did you feel like having to prove yourself or earn the acceptance or the love or the acknowledgement? Did you feel that as a child? And if so, tell us kind of in depth, if you will, about that.
I did feel that as a child. And so I strived to work hard in school. I couldn't play sports because we went to a church that didn't believe in, I couldn't wear shorts, couldn't wear pants and all of that. So I didn't get to do sports, but my academics, I tried to work hard so that I would shine and at least try to be recognized, to say, oh, you've done well. Tanika's so smart. So then I would receive recognition. I wasn't a bad child, didn't ever get in trouble, but that was the one thing that I could do to prove myself to everybody that, oh, this is good.
Yeah. It reminds me of something that Maisha said in one of the episodes in which she spoke about being good or great even at a lot of things. That way she was able to get the acknowledgement and the recognition that she needed, honestly, because every child needs acknowledgement. They need recognition of the good things that they do. So often children receive the punishment, the discipline, if you will, but they don't receive the positive things. They need the positive reinforcement, if you will, so that they can recognize or realize, oh, this is okay for me to do, and they go that direction. Now, they do need discipline, and they do need, all of the other things or whatnot. But if they only get that, then in the mind of a child that then leads them into an adult, they will believe that nothing that they do is right, and that they always have to work at gaining someone's approval in some way. I think that's kind of what you were saying about that.
Absolutely. And it's really strange but when I went to my grandmother's house, like I was the star. I didn't feel any of that. All of the, like I'm not a part of this family. My grandmother genuinely loved me for me. And I could feel all of that. There were no other dynamics there. Yeah. So I knew that as a little girl. Like, oh, when I go to Granny's house, it's like, I feel so free.
Yeah.
So children can tell.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Okay, so one more question for you, Tanika. And I'm asking these questions because as a child, I didn't experience that. I'm grateful for my mother and father in that regard. I don't know what it's like to feel rejected as a child. When I hear things like, you're never going to be anything, or you're not gonna, or you ain't, I never heard words like that before. And so for either those words to be spoken or actions to be done toward a kid to make them feel that way, I never experienced that. So my heart always aches, honestly, for someone that did. And then having to put in all of the work to get what somebody should easily give to you. So one other question for you, Tanika. So as a child, why do you think that your mother in particular, or mom and dad, I'll put it out there because I'm not sure, why do you think that they made the choice not to acknowledge you or not to accept you just as you were and pour into you in that regard?
Well, I feel like there were two dynamics. One was that my mom was in love with my dad.
Okay.
And he didn't marry her.
Mhm.
He never married her. So I feel like the rejection that she felt, she projected it on me because I looked like my dad.
Okay.
And so I didn't realize that until recently. My therapist made that connection for me. And then 2, my stepfather, I felt like I was the first grandchild. So everyone on my mom's side, they gravitated to me.
Mhm.
So I felt like he thought that same dynamic was going to be in the house. Like, oh, she's not going to be all of that here. Like, I'm going to make sure that, that he's in control and that it's not all about Tanika here. And when you just mentioned about you never experienced that, it's really strange. I remember my stepfather telling me that when I grow up, that I was not going to be anything.
Wow.
He specifically said that I was going to have children by different men
Wow.
with different fathers and probably be on welfare.
My God.
He said those words to me.
Wow.
And I remember that as a little girl. And even growing up to an adult, I was like, I used to always think, I don't want kids from, because that's what he said that I was
Yeah.
going to do.
Yeah.
And why he said that, I have no idea. But he told me that as a little girl.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
Yes. Wow. Who says that?
Right.
Yeah. To a kid.
To a kid. Who says that? Period.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but yes, especially to a child.
Yeah.
Because children hear the words of adults and they are facts to them.
Mhm.
These are the
Yes.
rules. This is
Yeah.
the law. This is
Yeah.
the truth. Whatever you say,
Mhm.
especially if it's the person that they love.
Mhm.
This is the person that gave me life, or the
Mhm.
person that is supporting me in life.
Mhm.
They believe that
Yeah.
and live
Wow.
that out.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the amazing thing is that that's coming from the mouth of an abuser,
Yeah.
someone that would violate a child.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
I
So
didn't
consider
know.
the source, right?
Consider the source. But as a
Absolutely.
kid, you
you
don't
don't know.
You
that.
don't
think
know
it. You don't know
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
just think, oh, he said that's what was going to happen to me.
Mhm.
And then he goes on to tell me, I remember the house that we lived in, as a matter of fact, was off Homestead in Houston.
Mhm.
He said that I probably would end up with like ovarian cancer. He said those words to me.
What?
Yes. As a little girl.
Can we take the spiritual just real quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on. Because the enemy tries to be so specific,
Yes.
Mhm.
with us and the things that he would want us to believe, or that he would try to make us believe that he can do.
Yeah.
He can't create anything. He
That's
can only
right.
try and pervert the
Yeah.
things that are created.
Yeah.
Right.
So putting in your mind, oh my God, I can only imagine that if you had the slightest pain, like
Right.
in your abdominal
fear.
area, the
Yeah.
fear that
Yeah.
would set up,
Mhm.
the fear, the anxiety, the worry, the doubt, the stress,
Mhm.
all of those things. But the devil is a liar.
Yeah.
Absolutely is.
Yes.
Absolutely
Because
is.
you had ovarian cancer.
No. Thank God.
Thank God.
But
Yeah.
but the amazing thing is that sometimes when you think about that, when those thoughts come to my mind, I think, what were we talking about? Like, why?
Mhm.
Oh, what brought that up
like,
in that
why?
subject?
And
Yeah.
I can't recall. And you rack your brain like, man, like, what did I do
Mhm.
for him to say that? That's the first thing that comes to my mind, because I'm always hard on myself or trying to do better. And it's like, you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the conversation was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was inappropriate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And harmful and
Yes.
destructive.
Yes.
Yes.
Or it had the potential to be
Yeah.
destructive, but
All
it
the
wasn't.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that can't take away from what it is that he did, but I'm still
Right.
sorry that you even experienced that,
Yeah.
that those
Me too.
words were ever even
Me
spoken
too.
over you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But you
Father,
you
in the
sit
name
here.
of Jesus.
Yes.
We
You sit
speak
here as
life,
an amazing
love,
woman now. Yeah.
prosperity, all the things.
All the things.
Yes.
Healing.
Yeah.
All of that. Yeah. Okay. Nikki.
Ooh.
Lord Jesus.
Wow.
This is weighty already.
Yes.
Okay. Nikki.
Okay. What was the question?
Unfortunately, we're talking about rejection.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, as Maisha was speaking, I so resonated with that little girl that she spoke of.
Mhm.
And me specifically, growing up, my father decided that he did not want to have a relationship with me early on.
Mm-hmm.
So I never knew him growing up. I've only seen him once in my entire life. And I've seen pictures of him recently, like a few years ago. I saw a picture of him on social media. But he decided that he did not want to be active. And so that decision really kind of shaped me in terms of doing good in school and being the good little girl, doing these things to gain acceptance and love and approval from him. And I remember when I was in middle school, I decided, okay, I'm going to go to high school. And I decided to go to a performing arts high school. And it was a cool experience because I'm from Atlanta, so Georgia, not Texas.
The real
Let's be
one.
clear, the A. Okay. But anyway, decided to go to this performing arts high school. And at the high school, we had, it was drama, it was singing, dancing, all the things. And one of the really cool things was that our dance department did the Coca-Cola commercials, back in the day. So it was really cool. So I decided I'm going to be in drama. I auditioned 3 times before I got into the school. I was devastated. But in my mind, I'm going to be this famous actress, and I'm going to go and win my Oscar. And as I am this famous actress, my father is going to love and accept me.
Oh, wow.
So that was the entire reason why I went to this performing arts high school. And Sidney Poitier's daughter was my teacher. So I just knew, like, I got this.
Well, first of all, did I know that you went to a performing arts high school?
No, you didn't.
I did not.
You did too.
Because I did too. Come on. Okay. I wasn't in drama, though. I can't.
But yeah.
Okay.
So I just knew, I got this, So it went from going to the performing arts high school. Then I decided, okay, I'm going to run for Miss 10th grade, because if I'm queen of my class, then surely, you can't reject a queen regardless of, just a grade queen, but nonetheless a queen. So I did that, and I was a cheerleader. And I even was I ran for 12th grade queen, didn't win that one. But yeah, I did all these things. I did really well in school, all the things. So fast forward, I went to see him. He doesn't live in Georgia, so I went to the state where he lived and pretended to be a client. So he would see me, because I knew if I showed up as just Nikki, his daughter, there's no way he would see me.
Yeah.
So pretended to be a client, go in there, and I'm excited because it's the first time I see my father.
Wow.
So I'm looking like, do I look like him? Because I never felt like I looked like my mom, and do I look like him? And what's his favorite color? Where did he go to school? So I have all these questions because I'm thinking in my mind, we're getting ready to sit down, have a conversation. You're going to see how amazing I am and love me.
Yeah.
And of course, I wanted to know why the rejection. So we started having the conversation, and I started crying. He took a box of Kleenex and just slid it across his desk.
So at this point, does he know you are who you are?
Yes.
Did he know when you walked in the door?
Yes.
Wow.
It's very obvious.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So that really shook me, because how can you not have compassion or empathy? I'm your child crying, and you just throw the tissue across the desk. I was hurt. So that conversation was not fruitful, of course. So fast forward.
Nikki, how old were you?
I was in my late teens, early 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had graduated high school already? Okay.
Yeah.
Did your mom know you were doing this?
Yes.
Oh, she did? Okay.
She knew.
Okay.
Yeah. So fast forward to college.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to go to Tuskegee University, TU, you know. Okay. And so I went there in my freshman year. Now, my mom always told me, you're going to college. Okay. But I had no idea how we were going to pay for it because, you know, or if I would graduate because she just said, you're going to college. So I'm like, okay, yes, I'm here. So I get there and my financial aid, something happened with my financial aid. So during that time, I wasn't allowed to eat in the calf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I called my father and I'd asked for, you know, to tell him the situation. I'm not allowed to eat in the cafeteria. Can you send me money, you know, so I can eat, which is a necessity, right?
Yeah.
So I suggested dollar amounts, you know, okay, what about $75 or $50 or every amount? I went all the way down to $5. He said no every time. And again, devastated.
Yeah.
And so I said some very explicit words.
Well.
And I was on the payphone, and I remember I slammed the receiver down and went to my room and destroyed my room. Like I threw things and, yeah, it was very hurtful.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't understand how a parent would know that their child is hungry and not feed them.
Yeah.
You know, so that like really, really, really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will say another part of this is people pleasing, you know, because I trying to please him. I just learned the habit of people pleasing, you know, and that was something that I struggled with and sometimes still struggle with now.
Yeah.
But fast forward to when I was in college, I had siblings. And
By your dad.
yes,
My God.
I'm the oldest.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. How many siblings do you have on that
3.
side? 3.
2 sisters and a brother.
Okay.
So, in college, you know, I knew that I had siblings. I had met one of them previously. But, you know, I wanted the whole sisterhood. I wanted a sister. I wanted to be accepted by my siblings as well. And when I went to college, I already knew that I wanted to pledge sorority. And that desire for sisterhood helped to shape, you know, that for me. And so I pledged Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Gamma Tau chapter at the Tuskegee University. And oddly enough, I met my other sister at a sorority meeting in Dallas.
In Dallas?
Yes.
Wow.
That was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Crazy. But at any rate.
Wow.
So yeah. So the interesting, I don't know if this is interesting, but I'll just say, and I don't know if we want to segue here, but I'll say what was interesting. Well, I'll stop because I don't want to get ahead of myself.
So you're good. You're good. There was a scripture that came to mind that I was trying to look for while you were talking, but it was saying, how much more does our Father care for us? Like if a child asks their parent, you know, for bread, you know, would you give them a rock? You know, and in your mind, the answer to that is, oh, absolutely not.
Right.
But for your Father, it's a yes.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
How that makes me wonder how angry that makes God. You know, you know how people kind of throw it out there jokingly or whatever. You know, God don't play about me, but He doesn't.
Right.
You know, He really, really cares about us as His children. And if the people that He uses to get us here to this earth are not people that will actually take care of us based on assignment, whether they chose to get you here or not, or whatever circumstances are that got you here.
Right.
that's a responsibility that
Mm-hmm.
you take, you know, that's yours,
Yeah.
you know, and he chose
Yeah.
to give you a rock in the form of a no.
Yeah, several
Yeah.
rocks. He
Yes.
said, kick rocks.
But Nikki, did you hear what you said initially? I couldn't stop you. You said you can't reject a queen.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a whole message in
Yeah,
itself.
absolutely.
I don't think you were literally thinking about, you were talking
I
about,
wasn't, yeah.
yeah, can't reject a queen.
Mm-hmm. I'd gone to dinner the other week with a friend of mine, and I always ask the waiter or waitress what their names are, because I just like to address them by their names. And so the young lady gave her name, but it was very unique. And I asked her, I said, "What does that mean?" And she says, "I don't know." It's like, "Really?" And she said, "No." And then she came back and she said, "Oh, but you can call me." And it was something shortened. And I told her, I said, "You should really go and find out what your name means, you know, because our names give us identity, you know." And I don't know if she did. However, just the thought that she didn't know who she was, you know, based on her name, if you will, if it had meaning at all, because sometimes some like, now what, baby?
But Natalie, I can speak to that. So did I tell y'all this story?
About your name?
Yes.
No, please do.
So I never knew what it meant, but I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Not long ago, I ordered a DoorDash from my job. The guy got out of the car. Africans recognize my name because it is African, Swahili specific.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I never knew. I never looked it up. So the guy gets out of the car with my bag and he looks. He said, Are you Tonyika? And I said, yeah. He said, oh my God. He said, do you know what your name means?
Wow.
He said, are you from Africa? I said, no. I said, no, my name is African. He said, your name originates from Onyaka. He said, look up Onyaka. He said, Onyaka means no one's greater than God.
Wow.
Ooh.
And so I just got chills. You know, he said, the Lord told me to let you know that.
Wow.
He didn't even know me.
Yeah.
And this was during going through my period. And so I've always been teased as a kid. Tanyika, Branya, you know, they would make rhymes. But that really, out of all of my years, I'm 52. I'm learning so much at 52.
Yeah.
That I understood like everything that I went through.
Wow.
Everything that I go through, even currently.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have to remember no one is greater than God.
Ooh,
Yes.
wee.
You better say it.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. And
Oh.
so let's stick there for a second. The fact that your mom, I'm assuming, named you, and then the relationship with her was what it was, is what it is. But she was used by God still to remind you that even though the person that she chose to marry was saying, you know, that you're going to have cervical cancer, ovarian cancer, whatever, and that you were going to fail and you was going to be a hoe out in these streets and have kids with all of these men, and that you were not going to be anything. You were still already named.
Yes.
You know, no one is greater than God.
Yes.
No matter what it is.
Yes.
Ooh,
Oh, that is so
we having
good.
church on Successful, Beautiful, and Sunday. What?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Wow.
And you know, I had to go look that up. I was like, let me
Yes.
make sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure enough, he knew exactly. I was like, Lord, was that an angel? Like, what?
I love that. Yes.
Just to encourage me on
Yes.
that particular day.
Yes.
During this particular time, I could have found that out years ago.
Yeah.
But he wanted me to know.
Now.
Then.
Or then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that for you.
Wow. And hold on to that absolutely every single day.
Yeah.
Every day. No one is
Yes.
greater than God.
Yes.
When circumstances and situations are hard and seem like we can't make it through, that they are suffocating, that they are smothering, they are, you know, tripping us up, pulling the carpet from underneath us, you know, all of that. There's no one greater than God.
Thank
No
you,
one.
Jesus. Yes.
Yeah.
Can I say? I mean, this is.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't follow that
No.
because Nikki does not mean that. But
Natalie means Christmas child, and my birthday's in September. But all right.
that's why green is your favorite color.
There we go.
But all makes sense now. When I was in college, I lived in these apartments, and the guys that lived next door to us, they were from the Bahamas.
Mm.
And so they were like, "Are you from the Bahamas? Are you Bahamian?" And I was like, "No, I'm from Atlanta." And I found out later that my father's family is from the Bahamas. Like, he's from his family. I don't know if he ever lived in the Bahamas. I think maybe as a child, maybe he did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're from the Bahamas.
Wow. And was it based on your features that they?
I think it was my skin tone, maybe
Mm-hmm.
my features.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, which
Wow.
that's crazy. And I found out. I'm like, Lord, why do you do this to me? I found out in a book. So I have an aunt, I won't say her name.
Mm-hmm.
She's now deceased.
Okay.
But she was president of an HBCU.
Wow.
Yes. And she was really big in African studies.
Mm-hmm.
So I found out that she was in this book, and I went and bought it.
Okay.
And in her, the description of her and her life, it talks about how they were from the Bahamas.
Mm.
And I just thought, wow, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
It really is. So
Yeah.
the book was kind of a biography?
No. So it is a book, kind of, because it has a lot of famous African American women in the book.
Oh, okay.
And so she was one of the ones that was featured in the book.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I found, actually, my sister told me, my
Mhm.
father's child told me about the book.
Mhm.
And so I went and got it. And just a way for me to, connect some dots. And I'll say, I know I've shared this before. I am a professor,
Mhm.
and I absolutely love genetics.
Yeah.
That's what my master's degree is in
Mm-hmm.
from the Tuskegee University. Anyway.
From
I love that.
Me too.
Yes.
I didn't go to an HBC. I'd probably have all of that.
Yes.
too.
Yes. But I just find it interesting because I've always had a love for science. And when I took genetics, I always had a love for genetics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just very interested in genealogy.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I remember as a young adult being married with kids, trying to connect my past, with my present and then future through my children.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, for me, it was important to know about my father's family and where they came from. And,
Yeah.
I've never had that opportunity. So when I learned about his family being from the Bahamas, I was so super excited.
Yeah.
And I think this may sound really weird, but I think that love for genetics, not knowing that I love genetics at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm always looking at, like, who do you look like, your mom or your dad? I'm
Yeah.
always doing
Yeah.
that,
Mhm.
even if I don't ask the question, even with my children, and other people, I'm really fascinated by that. But I
Yeah.
think that kind of fueled my desire for science even,
Yeah.
because I remember when I was younger, I said before, I never thought I looked like my mom. So I always wondered, well, what does this man look like that I've never seen? And do I have his hands? And do I have his hair? And
Yeah.
all those things went through my head as a child,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't know, because I don't know him,
Mhm.
But in trying to connect my past, present, and
Yeah.
future, after I was married, I did try again to reach out. And, that was not fruitful. And the conversations were short and painful. And then it was like, okay, Nikki, get it together. He's not interested.
Exactly.
That's what it was. He wasn't interested. And I'm again, I turned into this 5-year-old little girl all over again. Just, how's the weather? Just trying to hold on and connect in any way that I possibly could.
Yeah.
And it just never
Would he have
worked out.
conversations with you?
Well, it depends on what you consider a conversation.
Okay.
So how's the weather? Fine. Okay.
Wow.
How's your family? Good. Yeah.
It's got to be hard.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
That reminds me, so my mom had a different father than my aunt and uncle. And she was, my aunt, okay, let me start that over because that's not making sense in my own head. So my mother found out that she had another sister besides the sister that she had grown up with because the sister reached out to her about 20, see, my oldest is 23, so maybe about 24, 25 years ago. And she reached out to her and they made connection. She came to visit. We all got to meet her. It was really cool and weird at the same time. There was somebody else connected to us in life that we didn't know existed. I never had a grandfather, if you will, on either side. So I never knew what that was like. And it was just normal, for me not to have a grandfather. And never even really thought about it. He just didn't exist, So my mom's sister found her again. She came here. We met her daughter, the whole nine. So that was great. And my mom went there, and I can't remember if that was to Atlanta or if that was California. I can't recall that. But my mom got to basically meet her father again, and she's like,
wow,
late 50s, early 60s, easily. So I had a picture of my mom with her father, and her relationship with my aunt, that's what she is, that kind of dwindled off. And so when my mom passed, I'm going through her things and I found the obituary for their father. And I thought, oh, I need to call her and let her know that mom passed. So I get my mom's phone and I call and she answers. It's kind of like, hello, and I was like, hi, this is Natalie, Carolyn's daughter. And so she's like, wow. So we have this long conversation. Well, at some point in her connection or reconnection with my mom pulled away from their relationship and she had no idea why. And I was really kind of guessing why I thought that they had, and I shared that with her. And it made perfect sense, why the things transpired the way that they did. That gave her, just from our further conversations, that gave her a bit of relief that she wasn't necessarily rejected by my mom. My mom made a decision based on not necessarily wanting to be rejected herself by others that were kind of pushing away from her because of the connection,
Right.
It's just a very interesting space to be in when it comes to rejection. Again, not having experienced that myself in that regard, but to see it, and then to have that conversation now, with my aunt and her having thoughts in her mind about what she thought had happened and the why behind it and things of that nature. And then being able to share with her, yeah, I don't think that that's the why. I think this is the why. And her, again, being able to have some form of relief from that. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's great that you reached out to her. And
Yeah.
I can't imagine walking around with that for years. And then, that's a lot to carry.
Yeah.
And then finally getting some closure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Absolutely. So, well.
Yeah.
One thing, Nikki, I wanted to share with you is someone recently told me that the silence of someone else is not about you, it's about them. So with your dad, I just want to say that to you. I'm sorry that happened to you, but his silence was about him and not about you. Because sometimes we personalize things and we beat ourselves up. Brutal. We walking around with bruises and don't realize it's like it's not even about you.
Yeah.
It's about them.
Yeah. And I'll say the same thing to you in regards to the stepfather.
Yeah.
Or the man that your mom was married to, because he wasn't a father.
Right.
And that the things that he said to you, the projection was so clear. You know, as you're saying it to me now, clearly not as a kid.
Right.
But it's so clear that he thought nothing of himself.
Yeah.
You know, and wanted you to feel how he felt, so that there could be the company of misery in that. You know, but why you would choose a child to accompany you in your misery, I'm not sure. But that's what he did. You know, and no, it wasn't about either one of you guys. You know, it was their miserable life. You know, and probably a lot of fear, and these are not excuses by any means.
Right.
But probably a lot of fear, a lot of insecurity, a lot of uncertainty and confusion, and all of those things. Just not knowing how to or what to do, you know, or whatnot. But even in those spaces, we still have choices. You know,
I agree.
and we get to choose to maybe just not be there. You know, opposed to saying something harmful or hurtful, or if there's a reach out to say, I'm sorry, I can't do this. You know, I'm choosing not to do this. It's not that I don't care about you as a person. I just can't do this. I don't have the capability. I mean, be adult about it and use your words. Rather than leaving these babies, you know, even at 20 and however old you were when you called the last time, you know, you just don't do that to people, you know.
I like how you said that.
Yeah.
He felt nothing.
About himself. He didn't.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all have something else to share here?
No, this was good.
Yeah. Really, really good. Okay. And again, I'm sorry that y'all experienced that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But can you talk about your experience, not with, because you said that you did not identify with our stories, but want to talk more about
when I was telling you about the girls, my girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do have permission from my children to share. Tell everything. if I may quote from both of them.
Yeah.
So my children, I raised my daughters to be daddy's girls, because I am definitely one. And
we love your daddy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, daddy.
Yeah.
This Bubba's girl.
Yes. So my children, you know, loved their dad, you know, thought that he was the greatest thing ever. Even with the flaws and things that I worked very hard at them not knowing or seeing, you know, the covering that we all did. At one point, however, once we separated, I think I may have shared this a little bit before on one of the episodes. My oldest daughter began to share her own opinion about things, because something that we didn't do was really kind of allow voice for our children, which is a horrible thing to do. Let your children share with you what it is that they think. You don't have to agree. As long as they're not disrespectful, let them share. And we didn't do that. For me, we didn't do it. I won't give excuses. We just didn't do it. So we separated, and there were lots of attempts, from what my children have told me, for them to be in agreement with what it was that at this point he wanted in regards to the marriage. Initially, he asked for the divorce. We're separated for almost a year, and then decides that, I really didn't want a divorce. I just needed a break.
No.
So,
Ninja.
Ninja. And so there were certain things that he required of my children when they were, you know, in his home. One of them was that they pray certain prayers, that they say certain things in regards to our marriage, because now he has decided that he didn't want a divorce. So they would have conversations about us, getting back together. He would say, well, the Lord's going to do this, the Lord's going to do that. And so my oldest finally said, Dad, I don't think that that's what Mom wants. And from that point forward, the treatment of my oldest daughter in particular for a long time was horrifying when she finally told me some of the things that were happening or not happening for her that absolutely should have been happening for her. The things that she was deprived of, but her sister was given. Things that she would ask for, and any other time she definitely would have been given. She was denied that. And if her sister wanted it, she would get it. But if she didn't, then she didn't get it just because she didn't want it. Things that were said to her, the names that she was called, it blows my mind still. The things that she experienced at the hand of her superhero, And so from that point, that's when my oldest in particular began to experience rejection from her father because she wasn't agreeing with the things that he wanted or demanded that they agree with. And the youngest continued because, as the oldest would say, she was brainwashed.
It's a real thing.
But it's a real thing.
Absolutely.
And one of the biggest things happened. My oldest, she was at an age that we didn't allow her to talk to boys just yet, but she had started talking to some boy on the phone or whatever. And she was angry at her father and had shared some things with the young man. And the young man said something. I don't remember the exact phrase, so I don't want to say that it was a thing that it wasn't. But he said something, and she said yes to that. Her father blew up at the situation. He called me and said, I'm bringing your daughter to you. But this was his weekend, right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? So he said he was bringing her to me. And so on the way home, he has a really big voice, right? Like the volume. He's yelling, name calling, screaming from Frisco to Arlington, flying down the highway. And these are things that were shared with me by both of the girls. And so when they got to the house, because at this point I've called the therapist, I'm like, how do I navigate this? And so she gave me some ideas. And so when they got there, I said, we need to pray because I don't know what's going on. And then I told her, I said, okay, so y'all hug. Don't hug me. This was in my presence. This is her father saying that.
The pastor said that?
Did.
Sorry.
He said, don't hug me. And so some things that she had told me that he had said on the way, told her, whoever your mama is dating now can be your daddy because I'm not.
Ooh.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine?
No.
I thought, he said that to you? And she's bawling.
Oh,
Man,
goodness.
my baby is crying so hard. I had never, ever seen her cry like that before. She's crying. I'm crying. He took my youngest with him. It was a whole thing, that particular night. And so from that point, honestly, from that point till today, my children still deal with the rejection of their father. My oldest, and I use her because she's had the more obvious response to this. Some decisions that she's made have been so harmful, to her, could have been to her future, but she had a horrific experience just a few years ago. And I called him to let him know. He didn't call her until the next day. She needed him that day.
Wow.
She needed a healthy father that day. He didn't call until the next day. And then the thing that he said to her was, I hear you're learning some life lessons the hard way.
What?
Now, I dare not share what it is that she experienced.
Of course not.
However,
Wow.
y'all,
How do you say that to your child?
I have no idea. But just a couple of weeks later, I'm in my room on the phone with my sister, and I hear my daughter talking, and she's kind of loud like her dad, So I just think she's in there being loud. But then I hear her cussing. And I'm like, now, listen, sister,
Right.
you ain't going to do all that in my house.
Right.
So I tell my sister, hold on a second. So I go in and I hear her. And I was like, who are you talking to? Because I can tell she's like in an argument, if you will. I was like, who are you talking to? And then my youngest is standing outside of the door, the room in the hallway. And she's furious. The youngest one is. And I was like, what is going on? And I said, who are you talking to? She says, Dad. I was like, oh. And so she is going in.
Wow.
She's going in. She is telling him absolutely every single thing that she has wanted to say to him. I assume since that first time that he told her, all of the things.
Be your daddy.
Yeah.
Wow.
She is cussing. She's telling him that, you're disrespectful. You want us to respect you, but you don't respect us as human beings. You want to be this bishop and you're not living life like you say that you are when you up there preaching.
Wow.
She's just saying all of the things. And I let her.
Absolutely.
I backed right up out that room and let her have her conversation. Because at this point, even if she was younger, I probably still would have allowed it. But she's an adult at this point. And I look at her sister and she is fuming because her sister is experiencing this again,
Wow.
from her father.
Wow.
And something that our therapist or their therapist told them years ago, she was talking to the father and I. She said, never, ever pit your children against one another. They will always choose each other.
That's right.
And that's so true.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did, And so at that point, they hadn't talked to him a whole lot at that point. From that point, they just stopped completely. They just, if he called, they didn't take the call, text. I guess they blocked him, on social media, on their phones, just all of the things, So my children have experienced rejection because they weren't performing like he would want them to, or they weren't living up to what he thought. They weren't continuing to dance the dance that we taught them to dance, honestly. And I do take some responsibility in that because I was a part of that. But then once we go through the divorce and they see me make a choice, that I make a choice for me and for them. Because at some point you realize my kids are watching me deal with this.
I know.
They're watching me stay.
I know.
Yeah. But they chose they didn't want to anymore. So that's their experience of rejection from a parent, And again, like I said, to this day, there's still some things that decisions that they make and experience. The oldest in particular, but really both of them, that they suffer through because of that. They're definitely ripple effects, to the rejection of a parent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
wow, I'm so sorry they experienced that, and you
me
too.
Yeah.
Because that's tough.
Yeah. It's very difficult to watch your babies hurt.
I know.
And you can't heal it because it's the other half that's hurting them.
You have no control.
Yeah. You want to reach to the phone and snatch their ass.
Yes.
Yeah, that part.
Yes.
Yeah. So
what's that song? I bust the windows. Jasmine Sullivan. That's what you want to do, you know?
Yes. So,
but we got to pray.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because God can do way more than some busted windows.
That's right.
But you just, it hurts you to see your children hurting like that.
Absolutely, it does.
Yeah. And especially because you've never experienced that. It's like,
right. It's kind of like, he said, what?
Yeah.
And not wanting to question them because they have no reason to lie to me or come up with anything like that. But I was like, now, he said what? Yeah. So, okay. Therapy in Jesus.
Yes.
Those are the, and let me flip that. Jesus.
Right.
Yes.
And therapy.
Ingredients.
Yeah. Because he is our only hope.
Yeah.
And he can use a therapist to help you walk through.
Absolutely.
If he chooses to, or he can speak a word.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
And send healing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, All right. Anything else, ladies? Oh, yeah. Oh, y'all. Okay, wait a minute. What?
Okay.
Yes. So God he's doing what God does with Successful, Beautiful, and we have in the next few months, we have the author, the preacher, the woman of God, the survivor of rejection, if you will, Nona Jones. Yes. She has written a book called The Gift of Rejection.
So good.
Yes.
But let me see the subtitle. Harness your pain to propel your purpose.
Yes.
Okay? Because there is definitely purpose in pain.
Absolutely.
Guys, stick with us. You're going to have to watch through it. I'm not going to tell you when she's coming.
Nope, not telling. Not saying a word.
But she is coming. And if you are not familiar with her, go to her pages, listen to her.
Yes.
Get the book.
Buy the book.
Yeah,
Buy
it's
the book.
It's good stuff.
Yes.
It's really, really good stuff. So she's going to be one of our guests very soon.
Yes.
I'm so looking forward to that. That book is great.
Yeah,
it's really, really great.
Yes.
We have her. We have some other people that we're working on getting lined up as well for the podcast.
Yes.
We are growing, and we're growing because of you guys.
Yes.
So thank you all again.
You. Yes.
I really appreciate you guys. I know we always dig deep, but this is a little deeper than I think that we've gone before, maybe, and sharing your childhood stories and things of that nature. If you've experienced rejection, do the work. Don't deny that you did.
Right.
Feel the emotions. Get the help that you need. I would say don't try to walk that, navigate that path on your own. That can be hard. Get some help and pray. Yeah. Anything else, y'all?
Got me crying. I got a hot date tonight, girl. Messed up my makeup. What's going on?
Oh my gosh. That's why you got to bring your sponge.
I had to kind of
clean it up a little bit before you get out of here. Yes. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching Successful,
Beautiful,
and
we appreciate you. Have an amazing, amazing day. Bye. The content shared on this podcast is intended for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. While one of our hosts is a licensed professional counselor, the information provided here does not constitute a therapeutic relationship, nor is it a substitute for individualized mental health treatment or diagnosis. Listening to this podcast does not create a client-therapist relationship between you and our hosts. Any stories, examples, or discussions are either fictional, generalized, or used with permission for illustrative purposes and should not be taken as personalized therapeutic guidance. If you are in need of mental health support, we encourage you to consult with a licensed mental health professional in your area. If you are in crisis or experiencing a mental health emergency, please contact 911, your local crisis line, or 988, the National Suicide Crisis Lifeline. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.